I don't even know how long I've been here anymore. Hours, days. It all bleeds together in the glow of my laptop screen. All I know is that the call hasn't ended. It won't end. And if you're hearing this, you should probably check your own Zoom tab, because I swear it spreads. This all started like any other meeting. You know the drill. Cameras off, mics muted, people pretending to care while secretly scrolling through their phones. I was used to that dull, lifeless routine. But then the hours started to stretch. People who should have left didn't. Screens that should have gone black didn't. Some of them just sat there, staring. And the worst part? Some of those faces I don't even recognize anymore. It's not like I could just leave. Believe me, I've tried. I clicked the little red button, hovered over it for minutes that felt like lifetimes. But every time I tried to press it, my mouse froze, or the button would flicker out of existence, like the call was aware of what I was doing. Like it wanted me here. I should have powered down my computer, ripped the cord from the wall, smashed the damn thing to pieces. But when I tried that, I swear, my own reflection in the screen smirked at me, as if daring me to go through with it. So I didn't. I couldn't. And now I'm still here, locked in with strangers who refuse to log off. Or maybe they can't, just like me. At first, we talked. Just small talk, awkward jokes, try to figure out why none of us could leave. But one by one, they stopped speaking. Their mics muted. Their expressions froze. Some of them haven't blinked in hours. One of the squares is just a black screen with no name, no video, no audio. It's been there the entire time. I don't know who or what joined this call, but it's watching. I can feel it. Sometimes I catch flickers in the dark corners of the tiles. Movements that don't line up with the people sitting there. A shadow leaning in too close, a whisper too faint to make out. I keep telling myself it's just lag. I don't even know how long I've been here anymore. Hours, days. It all bleeds together in the glow of my laptop screen. All I know is that the call hasn't ended. It won't end. And if you're hearing this, you should probably check your own Zoom tab, because I swear it spreads. This all started like any other meeting. You know the drill. Cameras off, mics muted, people pretending to care while secretly scrolling through their phones. I was used to that dull, lifeless routine. But then the hours started to stretch. People who should have left didn't. Screens that should have gone black didn't. Some of them just sat there, staring. And the worst part? Some of those faces I don't even recognize anymore. It's not like I could just leave. Believe me, I've tried. I clicked the little red button, hovered over it for minutes that felt like lifetimes. But every time I tried to press it, my mouse froze, or the button would flicker out of existence, like the call was aware of what I was doing. Like it wanted me here. I should have powered down my computer, ripped the cord from the wall, smashed the damn thing to pieces. But when I tried that, I swear, my own reflection in the screen smirked at me, as if daring me to go through with it. So I didn't. I couldn't. And now I'm still here, locked in with strangers who refuse to log off. Or maybe they can't, just like me. At first, we talked. Just small talk, awkward jokes, try to figure out why none of us could leave. But one by one, they stopped speaking. Their mics muted. Their expressions froze. Some of them haven't blinked in hours. One of the squares is just a black screen with no name, no video, no audio. It's been there the entire time. I don't know who or what joined this call, but it's watching. I can feel it. Sometimes I catch flickers in the dark corners of the tiles. Movements that don't line up with the people sitting there. A shadow leaning in too close, a whisper too faint to make out. I keep telling myself it's just lag. Embarrassment we all shared. Looking back now, I almost miss it, because compared to what happened later, those glitches and slip-ups were heaven. The monotony had its comforts. You knew what to expect. Same meeting links, same frozen smiles, same polite goodbyes. I used to count down the seconds until the call ended, and the little leave meeting button gave me my freedom back. But the night everything changed, the button didn't work. It was supposed to be just another team meeting. Nothing exciting. A status update on projects that nobody really cared about. Cameras off, mics muted, that heavy silence where only one or two people bother to speak. I half listened, half scrolled through social media, only looking up when someone called my name. Then the hour mark passed. People signed off one by one. You know the drill. The host waves, everyone says bye in that weird chorus. The squares vanish until only a few linger like aftershocks. I didn't even notice at first. I was distracted, trying to type out a message to a friend. When I looked back, the meeting hadn't ended. There were still windows open. So were co-workers. Others I didn't recognize. Maybe friends of friends who had the link. I didn't think much of it. I figured it would close on its own when the host finally hit end for all. But it didn't. Minutes stretched into an hour. The remaining participants just stayed. A couple of them were muted, their cameras dark. Others sat motionless, like they'd stepped away, but never bothered to log out. I thought about leaving, but curiosity got the better of me. I wanted to see how long it would last, if anyone else would notice. That was my first mistake, because if I had just closed the window, if I had just clicked out of that one stupid call, none of this would have happened. I wouldn't be here, talking into the void, praying that you're not seeing what I'm seeing right now. And maybe that's the cruelest part of all. It didn't start with blood, or screaming, or some obvious sign of horror. It started with boredom. With ordinary, forgettable silence. With the same tired faces I'd seen 1,000 times before. Normal life slipped into something else, something I can't wake up from. And it all began with the call that should have ended, but didn't. At first, it felt harmless. Just a handful of us left behind after the meeting officially wrapped. I've been on enough calls to know how it goes. Someone forgets to hang up, someone else lingers to chat, and eventually the whole thing times out. No big deal. But this time it didn't. There were 4 of us, then 3, then 2. Me and a guy from accounting named Ryan, who I'd barely spoken to outside of work. He gave me a little half smile and said, "Guess we're the last ones, huh?" Yeah, I laughed, even though my stomach twisted. Guess so. We talked about nothing, sports, deadlines, how late it was getting. I told myself I'd leave soon, that I'd log off once the conversation naturally ended. But then another window flickered back to life. It was just a black square. No name, no camera, nothing. Like an empty chair pulled up to the table. "Do you see that?" I asked. Ryan frowned. "Weird. Maybe someone forgot to set up their account." I nodded, though it didn't sit right. In every call I'd ever been on, even an empty square had some kind of label, guest, or user, or at least an email address. This one was completely blank. We tried ignoring it, carrying on our awkward small talk. But I kept glancing back at that empty square, waiting for something to happen. Nothing did. Just silence. Then Ryan's name shifted. At first I thought it was my eyes. Maybe the text was blurring from staring too long. But no, the letters had rearranged themselves. Ryan M became Ryan M, a typo that hadn't been there seconds ago. "Did you change your name?" I asked. He looked at me like I was crazy. "What are you talking about?" I pointed. It's spelled wrong. He leaned closer to his screen, confusion spreading across his face. "Huh, that's weird. Must be a glitch." But then my own name shifted. My name became my NAM, letters twitching like they were alive, like they were flexing inside the code. My chest tightened. "This isn't funny. I didn't do anything," Ryan said, raising his hands like he was innocent. His voice cracked, just enough to tell me he was just as unsettled as I was. We both went quiet. The only sound was the faint hum of our microphones. Then something impossible happened. The little crown icon, the one that marks the host, slid from the top of Ryan's square to the black box. Just moved. No one clicked anything. No one passed control. It just happened. My breath caught. Did you? No, Ryan interrupted. His voice was sharp now, panicked. No, I didn't. For a moment, nothing changed. The black square stayed black, empty, silent. But knowing it had control made the silence unbearable. I could feel it watching, deciding. Maybe we should just hang up, Ryan muttered. Screw it. This is too weird. I tried. God, I tried. My cursor drifted toward the red leave meeting button, but the moment I hovered, the whole bar flickered like static on an old TV. My mouse froze. I shook it, clicked furiously. Nothing. Ryan swore under his breath. Mine's not working either. And then, like it was mocking us, the chat box popped open on its own. A single message appeared, typed out one letter at a time, slow and deliberate. Hello. My throat closed. Ryan stared wide-eyed at his screen. Okay, that's it. I'm shutting my laptop. He slammed the lid, and his window went black. But he didn't leave. His square stayed there, frozen mid-frame, like a pause video. Only his eyes were different, open wider than before, staring directly into the camera. Ryan, I whispered. No response. Another message appeared, one down. I should have left then, ripped the power cord, smashed the machine. But I couldn't move. My hands hovered over the keyboard, useless, trembling. I just sat there, watching my own name flicker and warp on the screen while the host remained that black, silent void. And somewhere deep down, in the part of me I try to ignore, I felt a flicker of something worse than fear. Recognition. Like I already knew what was waiting on the other side of that empty square. I told myself it was stress, that I'd been online too long, that I was just imagining things. But the longer I stayed in that meeting, the more I noticed changes. Small, almost laughable at first. One of the remaining participants, a girl from HR, had her camera on. Her background was just a messy bedroom, laundry piles, a bookshelf, a crooked poster. Nothing unusual, except every now and then something moved in the corner. Not her cat, not a shadow, something taller, slower. A figure that passed just outside the frame. Hey, I asked, trying to sound casual, is someone there with you? She blinked, shook her head. No, just me. But even as she said it, the movement came again. A shape sliding behind her door, vanishing the instant I tried to focus on it. I laughed too loud. Guess Zoom's got ghosts now. She forced a smile, but didn't answer. That's when the whispers started. At first, I thought it was feedback, or maybe Ryan's frozen mic picking up old noise. But then I saw it. The red muted icon on his square flickered, like it couldn't decide whether he was muted or not. Every few seconds, a scrap of sound slipped through. Breathing, muffled words, stretched like a tape recording that had melted in the sun. I leaned closer. Ryan. The whispers stopped. His face stayed frozen, those wide eyes burning through the screen. The girl's mic crackled next. She jumped, fumbling with her settings. Sorry, I think it's glitching. But it wasn't, because over her stammering apology, I heard another voice, clear as day, whispering from her feed, "Don't look away." My skin crawled. I opened the participant list, desperate for control. Maybe I could kick the black square. Maybe I could mute everyone. But the list was useless. The names were warped now, rearranging themselves into nonsense. Strings of numbers, broken symbols, fragments of words that almost spelled something but didn't. Still, I needed proof. Something I could show later, something to remind myself I wasn't losing it. So I hit screenshot. Click. For a split second, the screen froze. Then it flashed back to life, normal as ever. I opened the capture. My stomach dropped. There were more windows in the screenshot than on my screen. Dozens of extra squares, faces half-lit, blurry, twisted like static-filled photos. Some looked like strangers, others like people I almost recognized, people I thought I'd seen in passing on old calls. And God, one of them was me. Not just a reflection, not just my frozen image. It was me, staring straight out of the frame, mouth open too wide, eyes rolled back like I'd been caught mid-scream. The room around me wasn't even mine. The walls were bare, pale wrong. But I knew that face. I knew it better than I wanted to. I slammed the screenshot closed, heart hammering. When I looked back, the girl from HR was gone. Just like Ryan. Her square stayed, but the body in it wasn't hers anymore. It was slumped, too still, like someone had draped a mannequin in her clothes. And the black square pulsed, once like it was laughing. It happened without warning. 1 second the call was quiet, filled only with the faint buzz of bad microphones and my own ragged breathing. The next, the black square lit up, not with video but with sound. A low crackle, like someone dragging their voice through broken speakers. Then words. Do you still remember the fire? I froze. My heart stopped in my chest. That wasn't possible. Nobody on this call knew about that. I hadn't talked about it in years. The night the apartment across the street went up in flames, the way I stood at the window as a kid, watching shadows twist in the smoke. My parents told me I'd imagined most of it, but I hadn't. And now this thing it knew. Who said that? I whispered. My throat was dry, every syllable scraping against it. The girl from marketing gasped. Was that Ryan? Are you messing with us? Ryan's frozen square stared back, eyes unblinking, unchanged. The black screen pulsed again, and the voice returned, clearer this time. Don't lie to them. You remember what you saw that night. You remember who stood at your window. A sharp hiss of feedback cut through the call. Everyone flinched. My palms were slick with sweat. That's not funny, another participant snapped. His name tag read Daniel, a guy I'd barely spoken to before. His voice cracked as he shouted, "Whoever hacked this, cut it out." The chat box popped open. Letters appeared slowly, deliberately. Daniel, age 7. Basement. Door locked from outside. Daniel's face drained of color. He leaned forward, eyes wide. How the hell? How do you know about that? No one answered. The black square stayed silent, breathing through the speakers, its static hum filling the silence like a heartbeat. The girl from marketing whimpered, "I'm leaving. Screw this, I'm leaving." Her cursor flicked across her window, but she froze mid-motion. What? The button's not there. Where's the leave meeting button? Checked mina. Gone. Completely vanished, like it had never existed. Panic rippled through the call. Windows shifted as people tried to shut their laptops, slam their power buttons. But their cameras stayed on. Their faces stayed lit. One by one, voices rose. Mine won't turn off. Is this a prank? Please, just let us out. The black square flared, louder this time, drowning them all out. The voice spoke, steady and cruel. Only one of you will get out. The silence that followed was worse than the noise. Everyone stared at their screens, eyes darting, breathing ragged. What does that mean? I whispered. The chat box flickered again. It means choose. Daniel swore under his breath, shaking his head. No, no way. I'm not playing this. He shoved back from his desk. The sound of a chair toppling over clattered through his mic. His camera jerked wildly as he tried to stand. Then black. His square went dark, replaced by a still image. His face, mid-scream, eyes wide, mouth stretched too far. A new line appeared in the chat. 2 down. The girl from marketing screamed. Her hands covered her face, rocking back and forth. This isn't real. This isn't real. I wanted to comfort her, to say something, but the words caught in my throat. My eyes were fixed on the black square. Because I knew, deep down, that it wasn't finished with me yet. And if what it said was true, someone wasn't leaving this call alive. I stopped counting the hours after the third sunrise. Or maybe it was the fourth. It didn't matter. Days slid past like spilled water, impossible to hold on to. The call never ended. The little gallery of faces glowed on my screen like icons on a shrine, frozen, half dead, staring. At first, I thought I could track the time by the clock on my laptop, but it betrayed me. Numbers began skipping, reversing, repeating. One moment, it was 2:13 a.m., the next it was 2:13 a.m. again, then 2:12, then 4:56. Once, it leapt forward 12 hours in a single blink, as if whole chunks of my life had been erased.